Hear ye, hear ye.
Ta-da! Oh.
It's officially Beau Champagne Sunday. Woo!
It's a Mirabelle Schramsberg Rosé Brut.
Ooh. Everybody say, ah.
They're like, what does that mean?
A Mirabelle Rosé Brut?
Yeah. That means it's pink. It's a Brut. And it should be pretty good. Because Schramsberg is top notch here in the States.
So, Mirabelle in California tends to be a favorite of the ladies, I think. No?
Maybe.
I feel like my shoulders are a little sunburned, honey. Had me out in the sun all day, slave labor and everything. What's up with that?
Somebody got to step up.
Oh! I thought it was going to overflow. Yeah, our high density planting. We worked really hard in the garden today. This one seems to be a favorite with the ladies because I think, as we've said before, Bruts aren't always super, super dry. That's a wrong assumption. Some Bruts have a little bit of residual sugar in them. And I think this one has a tiny bit of sweetness to it. Not a lot. I mean, again, it's called a Brut. It's not called a demi-sec.
Yes.
But it seems to have this little bit of fruity sweetness to it. So we'll see if I'm right or not.
It's a blend of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir grapes. Believe this has a little bit of aging on it.
Is it a vintage or a non-vintage?
Non-vintage.
Non-vintage. Schramsberg has incredible history in the U.S. if you've never heard of it. We've probably talked about it in other videos. But the Cremant, Nixon flew in the Cremant for something, and now it's used at all the inaugural events.
Yes.
You're not really in the video camera today, baby. You hiding from everybody?
No, I'm right here.
Okay. So it's special. It's got lots of history. Even during Prohibition, they did some crazy things out there on the property. So it's fun to go do the tour. And as we've said before, they're the only place that still riddles by hand.
I believe so.
In California.
I believe so. The last Riddler was retiring.
Yeah.
And they were supposedly bringing on a new guy, but who knows?
Baby. Got some wild bubbles in there tonight. Look at those.
Cheers for the celebration.
Wild bubbles. We're celebrating the summer harvest is in the ground.
Okay.
What else are we celebrating?
It's another day of life.
What else are we celebrating?
That's it.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, you can't even say sweet, but there's like this hint of something. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Kind of hits the back of the palate at the end. So I find that ladies like this. And if you're a Moscato drinker, maybe you won't like it. It'll still seem too dry to you, but
it's not it's not a cheap rosé. It has some character and complexity to it. And I think that's because it has like a little aging on it. So subject matter. You know, oftentimes, in this modern era, we hear about bullying.
Is this what we're talking about today?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a little something came to mind. You know, even as an adult, you can be bullied. Okay?
Yeah,
if you allow somebody to
bully
bully
me all the time.
That's not true.
Bully.
It's not true. But as an adult, you should know your mind. And you should know whether everybody else in the room is of one mindset. If you feel that the mindset that you have is the right one, then you stick to your guns. Don't be pressured. Don't be bullied. Don't be anything to do something or go in a direction that isn't for you.
So what you're saying then, as an adult, it sounds like you're talking more like mental bullying or psychological bullying than physical bullying?
Sure. I mean, if everybody in the room doubts you or is laughing at you because they don't believe something that you said, if you believe and you know in your heart that you're right, why would you go in a different direction?
Well, and as you know, I've had this experience because I know my mind. I speak my mind. I like having conversations with people who also know their mind and can speak their mind. I can stand up for myself, and that's not personal. It doesn't mean anything against you, but I've actually had people, as you know, other women in particular, when I stand up for myself and I don't agree with what they say or believe in, and I continue to stand up for myself, say, I'm a bully because I do that. And I don't think that makes me a bully. I think that's a victimization that people play when they cannot stand up for themselves. And I can stand up for myself, you know? So it's an interesting conversation or dynamic.
Bullying, I don't want to say is a part of the human condition, but if you really, really think about it, beyond a physical level, I mean, I'm sure all of us at some point in our daily lives have to deal with what I like to call the group mind. You see it in corporate America. The big boss says it's one way, so somehow that means that that's the way. Or you have a different opinion and everybody in the building is against you.
Earl has a very different opinion of bullying. I'm sure this will get a couple people worked up. And I don't necessarily disagree. I think that there's some natural level of disagreement, disorder that happens in the world. And I think that regardless if we want to admit it or not, that Darwinism exists and there's going to be the survival of the fittest on any level.
Very true.
And so to think that we're going to eliminate, discourse, disagreement, that kind of thing, I don't think that we are. Now, the other side, and I think you would agree with this, he's not talking about if every time you go to work, because Earl had it. Earl had a bully boss. If every time you go to work, you have a boss who calls a meeting and in the meeting screams and yells at people and calls them names every time and that kind of thing. He's not saying that that's an appropriate behavior.
No.
Baby, the camera's over
No,
here.
I got it.
That's not what he's saying. So please don't take this wrong. I think you're just saying that some people have taken using the word bullying to the extreme.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it takes many forms. And, I'm just saying, it's going to be there. We're not going to legislate it away. You got to stand up for yourself. You got to draw the line. And, it may not be a happy ending like in the movies. It may be...
What do you mean? Prince Charming doesn't come at the end of every movie and I live happily ever after?
No, this is like a Law and Order episode. Sometimes the bad guy actually gets away. Okay. So
maybe Disney should go back and remake their movies, and sometimes Cinderella's just left alone.
That's how it goes down sometimes. But
so, what's your word of wisdom at the end of Wine4Lovers TV tonight, baby?
The word of wisdom is you got to draw the line. You got to draw the line. Sometimes that line means that you just got to be quiet and let somebody think that what they're saying is the right way. Other times, you got to really draw the line in the sand and lay the smack down on somebody and let them know, if you come over here, you can't eat. Then, there are other times where you just got to stand up for yourself on a verbal level and just know in your heart and through your words that where your mind is, what your thoughts are or is the right way. And
sometimes the best fight is to just walk away.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just gotta
know yourself.
You gotta
know
keep
it's right to walk away.
Keep it.
Just walk away. And lastly, I'm just going to say that it's really important that you Q-tip. Quit taking it personal.
Yes, I like that. And on that note,
cheers.
You walk away. You go drink some champagne.
Find somebody you love.
That's right.
Have some sex tonight.
Whoa! I like that kind of bullying. Peace.
Okay, get your booty in the bedroom then. I'm bullying you right now. Move
Later.
it. Move it.